Cheers guys, Epyx911, welcome to the Elitist Geek. Tonight I want to talk about Microsoft's decision to finally offer gamers a choice. A choice with what? A choice with whether they want the Kinect or not. This is a pretty far-reaching topic. So let's back up a little bit and let's talk about the concept of peripherals as being paradigm shifters. I've seen a lot of bundled peripherals in my time, things you had no choice on. They were part of the hardware, whether it was the Coleco Atom, Nintendo's botched VR. In fact, that one was even worse because it wasn't so much a peripheral, it was the main thrust of the technology. See, the thing that I believe deeply is that games drive everything. Games drive technology, games drive peripherals. Not the other way around. Peripherals don't drive games. You look at something like Robotron 2084, Eugene Jarvis. That was a game where the design drove the need for the two sticks. He put wired two Atari, I think they were 2600 sticks, as his first control kind of get-up, or Atari arcade controllers, and it brought that game alive. It wasn't two sticks on a machine and what game are we going to make around the sticks? It was the game that drove the technology. Xbox One is no different, PC is no different, PS4, Wii, they're no different. What is the most important is giving consumers a choice, because that helps your early adoption rate. And I know there's early adopters out there and they're worried. I'm one of them. Not worried, but I'm one of the early adopters. I bought the Xbox One with the Kinect. There's no choice on the matter. I don't think the Kinect itself is a paradigm shifter, nor is the PlayStation Move, nor is the Wii controller. So for me, not having that choice kind of irked me a little bit. I would have definitely paid less. I'd be more willing to pay less to get that Xbox One without a Kinect. And then wait for the first game to really take advantage of the technology. And there's a catch-22 there, because most developers are going to look at it and say, okay, well, we've got 10 million Xbox One users. We estimate that 10% of them have a Kinect. That's just not enough market penetration to justify the game we had in mind. We're going to have to compromise that design or scrap it all together and go with something else. So I know what Microsoft was getting at. I understand the thought process. But again, it's going to be a game, whether it's an indie game or whether it's something. And see, where the Kinect and Move and Wii controller benefit is VR tech. It's almost a natural hand-in-hand. So I said earlier that I don't think they are the paradigm shift, but I do think they will contribute to the next paradigm shift. And the next paradigm shift, as far as I'm concerned in gaming, is virtual reality. I know we've been there before, and we flirted with the gimmicky 3D, which is almost kind of dead in the water now, because it was gimmicky. It wasn't the immersion people were looking for. It was just bubble vision is really what it was. But to be in a game like Skyrim and actually fucking wield your sword, that's visceral, that's in your face. Something like that is going to push the technology. And just imagine you have a buddy, all right? And this is where I say the game drives it. You have a buddy. You both have your Xbox Ones, okay? With, let's call it the Xbox One virtual reality headset. You've both got one of those. The newest cool game came out. It's a Skyrim-like type game for Xbox One. It's a fantasy RPG. Your buddy's got his headset on. You've got your headset on. You get into your first battle. The only difference being, your buddy has a Kinect. And this is how he's fighting with his headset. And this is you. looking at your buddy wielding his sword, and suddenly you're that kid on the playground without the Atari 2600 or Coleco, and you're playing your violin, and life sucks, and you will do whatever it fucking takes, short of killing somebody, whether it's days, weeks, or months, to get yourself a Kinect so you too can wield a sword. Even if 95% of the gaming you do, like me, is on your fucking couch, on your ass, right? Whether it's with my wireless 360 controller for my PC, my PS4, or my Xbox One, the majority of my gaming is on my ass. But there are times where that visceral, virtual reality feel is going to drive the technology. It's going to make me want to do that. And a Skyrim-like game or an Elite Wing Commander Freelancer type game where I can open the window in my gaming pad and have a cold breeze come in and feel like I'm in the depths of darkest space, flying my Han Solo style trading spaceship, evading bandits and police vipers. Fuck yeah, sign me up, I want that shit. That's what's going to drive it. So I think we have enough, excuse me guys while I plug something back in here, I think we have enough tech penetration with the Kinect. There's no issue. You know, they sell 15 million Xbox Ones and 10 million have a Kinect and 5 don't. That game is going to come along. There's going to be enough justification for the devs. If it takes advantage of virtual reality or whatever, and it's that much better with the Kinect, people are going to buy it. That's the bottom line. And people are going to buy it, the most important point, that may not have otherwise even been in a position to buy it because they couldn't afford an Xbox One because you forced them to buy a Kinect controller. That's the way I look at it. I could be wrong, but honestly, in the 30 years that I've been gaming, 30 plus years, I've seen it time and time again. They bundled shit and forced people to do stuff, and it just doesn't work. It's always been games. It's always been about the games. You know, it was Doom. It was Ultima Underworld. I can't... People who've been through this, you guys watching that have been through this, you understand what I'm talking about. I can't begin to describe the feeling of going from Ultima 6, which was mind-blowing at the time. It made me sell my Amiga. It was 256 luscious colors, right? My Amiga port of Ultima 6 was 16 or 32 colors, and it was slow. It was a horrible port. I bought a 386DX40 just so I could play Ultima Underworld and Ultima 6 and all those VGA games that started coming out. But back to the example, going from Ultima 6, which was so fucking awesome, to Ultima Underworld, that was a paradigm shift. That was true 3D, and System Shock was more of that goodness, and Doom and Wolfenstein with their ray tracing engines, it was more of the same. It's what made me, excuse me guys, close the window, nobody wants to hear a fucking ice cream truck, pissed me off. It was what drove eventual 3D hardware. It was the games. It was the games that started the arm race of video card manufacturers. You know, now it's NVIDIA and AMD. Back in the day it was 3DFX, Diamond, ATI, right? Those companies. It was always the games that drove it. I remember when I bought a Matrox card. It was a Matrox Mystique and it came bundled with MechWarrior 2. Playing MechWarrior 2 was so awesome with that card. I can guarantee you, if a Kinect style controller was available back then to go alongside with what I had with the Matrox Mystique, I would have bought it without hesitation because it would have made it that much more immersive. Again, that's what I'm talking about. So all in all, I think it was a good decision from Microsoft. I'm really curious to see what the impact is for their next fiscal quarter in terms of sales revenue. I suspect it's going to be a positive. Are they going to catch up with the PlayStation? I don't know. I own both. I really don't care. But I think it's going to benefit their sales. But what I'm most excited about is that next game, that next thing that's going to take advantage of all these technologies that complement each other. the controllers, the virtual reality. That's what gets me excited. Curious to hear what you guys think. Leave comments below. Like if you like the video. If you don't like the video, of course you got the option to dislike, but do me a favor, leave me a comment explaining why you didn't like the video. I love to hear different opinions. I don't know all this shit. I don't purport to be the master of all this stuff. I just report my thoughts and my opinions, and that's exactly what they are, my thoughts, my opinions. They're not always fact. You know, I try to be factual, but it's not always factual. Subscribe if this is the kind of video you like. I do tech reviews, game playthroughs, game reviews, but a lot of videos are vlog-style technical rambling about news story updates like this. As always, cheers guys. We'll see you in next video.